So, got it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the YesSHECan project. I am delighted to be joined by the gorgeous Ella. Hi, Ella.
Hello, Michelle, and hello, listeners.
It's been a long time coming for us, hasn't it?
We have managed to reschedule many times over.
You've rescued old ladies at garden centres. You've had stuff.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It's so true. And then I've had mums let me down. I've had to go and get a pile of kids. Yeah, It's been a bit like that.
It's like mum life, isn't it?
It is.
In a nutshell.
No, but it is, though. We can't. I read something brilliant the other day that said, society, you probably saw it. It was all over Insta. Society expects a woman to work as if she's got no children, to mother as if she's got no job, and to look as if she's got neither.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It is. And I mean, even like your escapade just before we started recording as well, like his mum life never ends.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. She is referring to
adding some context.
And then trying to, I literally hurled supper at my child. Here's your tea, get it in the other one.
You will eat whether you're hungry or not.
Yeah, gotta be. It's now or never. Right.
So for anyone who, sorry.
Oh no, I was just thinking then when you're that age, when you're 14 or any child really, you know, your world, you don't know there's anybody else. You are the center of the universe and there is only your universe, you know. And
you can't understand why nobody else feels the same.
No, why is nobody, what? It's all about me. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
So for anyone who doesn't know Ella, could you give us a brief introduction into who you are and what you do?
I'm an actor or actress, depending on how woke you are.
I love that.
I've got small people, or they might be big now, but I was Captain Sinker on Swashbuckle for many years on CBeebies. And also, if you like your sitcoms, I was in The Green Grass playing Mrs Cakeworthy, the cleaner, and I was in Hardware with Martin Freeman and Peter Saravanowicz playing Julie. And some people know me from the Catherine Tate Show, where I'm the lady at the desk who has to guess all the time, which is hell. I'm not really good at this. Please don't make me guess. And I've worked for about 30 years in theatre as well. And nobody knows who I am. If people bump into me, they think I'm a mum at the school. They think maybe I served them in Asda.
Oh my God.
Or that I'm like a distant cousin they met once at a wedding. Nobody has a clue, usually. Having said that, though. Well, it's the perfect amount. Like I work and I'm not famous. It's perfect. But having said that, I was going off to Benidorm a couple of weeks ago to see my friend who writes it, Derren Litten.
Oh, wow.
And I was fully masked up for the airport. So there's literally my little piggy eyes sticking out. And I turned to this security guard, this girl, and she immediately recognized. She was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. It was really lovely. Yeah, sure. Then my things go through security. I'm picking them up at the tray thing. This screaming, adorable Twinkie queen comes running up to octogenarian. She was over 80. Next to me, enormous woman in a wheelchair, and says, oh my God, I loved you on Catherine Tate Show. And I went, I think it's probably me. But, and the woman was like terrified, you know, who the fuck are you? Sorry, can we swear?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. But how sad am I that I was like, no, I think it was me. Just shut up. Shut up, get gone.
So was acting always something that you wanted to pursue? Or?
Nearly always. So when I was 6, my dad, who was also an actor.
Oh, wow, really?
Managed, and my granny and my great uncle on the other side as well. They were all, and my great grandmother as well. Gosh. She was an Australian B-movie actress. They've all been at it. But because Dad was an actor, he ran Tiles Wine Bar in Buckingham Palace Gate, whatever it's called.
Oh my God.
Palace Road. There's some Tiles Wine Bar down there. Somewhere near there. You know, actors doing other things, because who can afford to live on an actor's wage, even though everyone thinks we're on loads. So when I was about 6, Granny said, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a waitress at Tiles. And she absolutely fucking lost it and went, no, you don't. You told me when you were 4 you wanted to be an actress. I went, did I? She said, yes, you want to be an actress. You went, oh, fuck, all right. So ever since then, I said it because she told me to. And then it just sort of came true. And and I can't do anything else, Michelle, let's be honest.
I mean, you're just fantastic.
But I can't. I do a lot of voiceovers as well.
Oh, do you?
Which is quite a different technique. And I do quite a lot of animation.
Okay.
Which is different. So you've got voiceovers for, ads and stuff, which is a certain discipline. And then, and that's nice. Now you get some money for that. Then you do animation, which is the worst paid thing in the world. But
is it?
It's so much fun. Oh my God, it's so bad. Unless obviously it's,
Disney Pixar or something.
Yeah. But your bog standard on Disney and on CBeebies and all the rest of it is it's pretty poor. Or Milkshake, I think I did one for 5 but that's another discipline. And then obviously theatre is another thing altogether, and film. But I did find, after doing a lot of Captain Sinker, then when it got to coming back to doing normal telly, I really had to dial myself down, because I'd been all, it's like childrenish. No, nobody wants to.
Oh my God. Can you remember like the first big job that you got?
Yeah, that would be, first really big one would be the recruiting officer at the Royal Exchange, because they gave me my equity card up at the Royal Exchange. And I was so I felt really out of my depth and overwhelmed by everybody being really good, and I just thought I'd somehow I had that imposter syndrome, I thought I'd swindled my way into the job. And it didn't help that the director stopped the dress rehearsal, which you never do, and said, Ella, if you could just give me, I don't know, a quarter of what you did in the audition, that would really help. So obviously after I'd stopped crying, I was just as bad. And then a lovely actress called Matilda Ziegler, who was in it, she's the one who plays Mr. Bean's girlfriend, and she's done loads of things. She's really good. She, out of the kindness of her heart, just sort of when the theatre was dark that night, she took me in and we just went through all my scenes and just loosened me up, and and just got me really comfy, and I really started enjoying it again, and then I was okay. It was touch and go, and I know they were thinking, because they only have one equity card to give away a year, and that could be to either stage management or an actor, and I went to an unaccredited drama school, so I needed that equity card.
So just for someone who's listening who doesn't know what that is, what is an equity card?
It's the union. Now nobody gives a shit, but it's the union, so that you're part of the equity union. And, big proper theatres and films and TV will only employ you if they can do an equity contract. They can't do an equity contract unless you're equity. Right. Put it this way, in my day, I'm 53. In my day, when we left drama school, if you weren't an accredited one, you then had to do like 40 weeks of stand up or something in working men's clubs. You could get people to sign it off. You could also do it stripping. So I thought maybe that's what I'm going to have to do. I went to this lady somewhere in Leytonstone in a block of flats. Fuck, it was rough. And I brought my 2 songs that I was going to strip to, and it was going to be in Sweden, and it was a 40-week contract. So I was like, right, I'll get my equity card at the end of it. And
it's all that matters right now.
I remember she said, right, what's the first one? I said, Big Girls Don't Cry. And she said, oh, I like that. That's quite funny that you're doing that and you're quite big. So I did my little thing, and then she stopped me and she said, what's really good about you is that I do get the feeling if you got to Stockholm, you would actually find the venue and the hotel. So I went, right. She said, but I don't know that stripping's for you. And I went, I don't think think something like that. So luckily that never happened. So,
you just went and met a madam, didn't you?
I know. I mean, I'm sure all madams are really like this. I mean, it was rough. It was rough.
Oh my God.
You know, a sort of singlet with dyed purple hair, and oh no, it was terrible.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so I was lucky to escape there.
Yeah, sure. Oh, God. So Ella, you touched upon obviously being in the green grass. How difficult was that for you, or how much pressure was on your shoulders, you know, because it came off the back of Only Fools, which
Fools
is like
horses. Yeah. I think the hardest thing was in those first, well, the auditions were extensive. Like I had to go through, it was the lengthiest audition process I've ever had, you know, until I did episodes with Matt LeBlanc playing his agent. Then that's the only other job where I had at least 6 or 7, you know, stages to go through to get the job.
Right.
But Fools and Horses, or rather Green Grass, was like that. There were many stages for them to be really sure they were doing the right thing. So that's quite terrifying. But at the same time, you think it does give you a bit of confidence, because you think they have had 6 opportunities to turn me down, and they obviously want me, so shut up and get on with it. So I hadn't seen it. Now, it's not my fault. I grew up abroad. I'm you know, I'm a diplomatic kid, you know, like an army brat, so you're abroad all the time. And then if not abroad, at boarding school, where you're not allowed to watch telly anyway. So I knew of it, but I didn't really know much about it. And I think that might have helped, because I wasn't quite as terrified because of that. But when I met John Sullivan, who writes it, you know, I was really aware I was meeting somebody a bit special, I must say. And then meeting John Challis, who plays Boyce, who sadly just died about 9 months ago. Sue Holderness, who plays Marlene. She's really posh.
Is she?
So, yeah, so she loves it. When we do the recordings, she'll come and she'll go, "Hello, everybody. I'm Sue. I'm playing Marlene," you know, and then she goes, "Marlene," you know, and then she's all boisterous. So she loves all that. But it was great. But we were nervous. I get very nervous anyway. So trade secret, Sue and I would neck, you know, the Rescue Remedy. We'd be like necking that before we went on, before the audience, because we were so scared.
Oh,
I don't know.
It seemed to work.
Yes, I think it paid off. And there's also, I mean, it's a bit naughty, but we do things like, we call it in the biz a professional foul. Okay. So when it's really tense and you've got a lot to get through, sometimes it helps loosen up the audience and you if you pretend to have fluffed something. And then you kind of do a whole act like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I messed up. I'm so sorry." And in front of you guys, you know, you do all that shit and they love it. And then everybody just relaxes a bit and then have another go. So
it helps take the tension out of the air. Doesn't it?
It's brilliant. And John and I had a scene where I was reading his palm, and we were like on the verge of corpsing anyway, but it was such a long speech I had. Yeah. And I couldn't kind of, so he started mucking about with his hand and me and looking at his hand as well. And then I started mucking about too. And then we, you know, but it was like it was a really nice silent agreement that we knew what we were doing. Yeah. A little bit of professional foul and then we'll crack on. You know, it was great. Oh, so he was fantastic.
Is stuff like that filmed in front of a live audience?
Yeah. So it's called multi-camera. And you'd rehearse it all week from, you know, probably Tuesday or Monday to Friday. You record it on a Friday night in front of a live studio audience with 6 different cameras. These days they do it digitally and everybody's recording all at once. But in those days, which isn't that long ago, when you get the camera script, when you've all rehearsed, you've decided where everybody's going. Yeah. You'll get the camera script on the day when you do the tech, and then you film it that night. And on the day you're like, oh right, so on that line they're getting a 2-shot, that means me and someone else from over there, so I think I'll just make sure I'm leaning that way a bit, you know,
get my good side.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, this is a single, i.e. just me. I'll do that right, and I won't go because then my hands are in the,
Okay.
you know, so you think, okay, so keep that a little bit smaller because it's coming right in on me there.
Oh my God, there's so much to think about.
Oh my God. And then you're thinking, like, there's other bits where you think, oh, right, that's a really wide shot with everybody. I was doing something really subtle and clever there. I'm fucking bidding that because nobody you know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot to think about. And then there's the audience, and then you're terrified. So, but it is really good fun because you get all the buzz of a live show, and I love theatre. Oh, poor Winston, he desperately needs a shit. He can go in a bit.
Winston is the dog, by the way.
Winston's the dog. It's not a child or an ex-husband, of which I have many. But no, he's all right. Yeah, so it's, you get all the buzz of that, and then if it all goes horribly wrong, you can take it again. Yeah. So it's kind of I love it.
It's okay. Yeah. I have wondered though, you know, like if I've seen like sitcoms and things like that, so you'll see it from one angle, one camera angle, and then you can't see the camera over there. So do you have to do it multiple times?
No, you have something brilliant called a vision mixer who makes sure that the sight lines are all right and that camera can do it from there. I mean, if you're doing something that's filmed and not in front of a live audience, then you're doing it many times.
Oh my God.
Many times over. You're doing it first, you usually do a wide one with everybody in so they can cut to that when they want. Then you're doing it probably a 2 or 3 shot. Then you've got all his close-ups, all your close-ups. Then you've got maybe an even tighter shot for him and a tighter one for you. You do each thing like, and not only that, it's got to go right for that size. Yeah. So then it doesn't, because somebody's boom just dipped in the shot. An airplane went over. Somebody forgot the line. So then you've got to do it again for that one and do it again and do it again. So it's you know, there's more to it than just poncing
what you see on the screen
carpet. You know, I mean, you've got to. It's all right. I mean, we're not digging roads, are we? It's a nice job. It's a nice job.
But then again, I would always think to myself, if you have to repeat the same line all the time, how do you manage to get it as natural each time?
Well, then you've just got to have
skills.
The thought, some skill. But if you have the thought again, then it comes out naturally again. You know, so you just have to think the thought again. You know, my dog just died. Oh God, my dog just died. You know, like you just have to keep thinking it again and again. And that's why it can get ones where you've got to be really upset. I did a really weird, you know, when they do these reenactments of true life crime. Yeah. And it was quite a fancy one because some of them could be awful, but this
they are shocking. Some of them
really awful. And we were in Norfolk pretending to be Texas. And they even had, I thought it was so clever, in the house they'd covered the plugs, you know, with like American American plug ones, you know. And I was playing the mother who was a real person of a guy who'd been murdered, and I had to grieve for all of those shots. The one here, the one there. So you're thinking, right, just until they get to the close-up, I don't want to really wring myself out. Yeah. But the problem is the thought is the thought. My son just died. You can't turn that down. It's like your son just died. So all that happens is by the time they get to the single, you are just, there are no tears left. You know, you're just wrung out and feeling, you know, so I can remember burying my head in, I've got another son and a daughter with me. And I can remember burying my head thinking, Willie, for the love of fucking God, would he cut? Please cut. You know, like, fucking hell. Went on and on. Anyway, I never got to see that either. It was really annoying. It was on some really random, you know, Hey You.
Like Alibi channel or something.
Yes, I don't get that nonsense. I don't know.
So, Ella, with the Catherine Tate Show, I mean, iconic. It's actually, I would say for sure, one of my favorite programs of all time. It was so like ahead of its time as well, wasn't it? And obviously I've followed like the whole thing. You really get invested in the characters.
Good.
Guess how many times I've seen it.
No, go on, guess. I don't know. I'm not very good at this game.
It's my favourite programme. Guess.
Oh, no. 42. 42? I'm not insane.
How did you manage not to laugh?
Pain. Yeah. I just would put my nail, because it's too much. She's fucking hilarious. I've known her since we were 17. And we, at one point, we hadn't decided which way round it would be.
Oh, really?
You know, but I'm glad it was that way. And it was right that it was that way, because it's Catherine's show, you know. But, you know, the guy who wrote the show also wrote Benidorm and wrote Scarborough, Derren Litten, and he was at John's with Catherine. Yeah, he was so clever. Yeah, so in those office scenes, yeah, I put this nail in this thumb, and I'd made it bleed before, you know. I just, because we've known each other so long, she would even slip things in that weren't in the script that she would get me. Like, I was one where she went just under her breath at the end, and she just went, lesbian, you know, like out of nowhere. And there's one you can tell. So there's one where she pours a drink over my head, and a strawberry milkshake, whatever. Of course, we've only got one shot at that, because it's, again, taped live.
And you just like sit there like this, like how you did that.
You fucking dare laugh. Costume and makeup and production will kill you. So will all the audience. Got to wait for you to do it again. So I absolutely know where I could laugh. But Catherine isn't happy. It's her show. And she's not happy with the consistency, because it was a bit runny. We wanted like a gloopy thing down.
Yeah,
and it's
slowly going down.
And you see her eyes just flicker up, like, fuck you. Like, really, but they can't do it again. So that's that.
Oh my God, everyone has to go and watch that.
Yeah, they got to go and see that. Just see if you see her, like, she looks at it and then she just, oh, she's so annoyed. But, and I know what she means. I was like, oh, it's just kind of running down. I wanted to, you know, but anyway.
Bit more gloopy.
And the one that was really hard, like, we usually got them in, you know, we didn't have to do too many takes of it, because especially with something, you know, that funny and subtle as well. Some of it subtle, some of it was just fart gags. But you don't you know, the more you do it, the audience aren't laughing, you know.
Okay.
So there was one we did where I'm the teacher. Are you a Christian, miss? Is it that you are a Christian? Is it that
Jesus creepers?
Yeah. Oh my God, have you seen what's on her feet now? Oh, Jesus creepers. So I think it's nice to let
let my feet breathe.
Yeah. I don't think so, miss. I don't know why you do this, or I don't know why you wear that. But I love that one so much. And we did that, and that is fucking pressure. Doing the Lauren ones, everyone I ever spoke to who had to do it was like, it's terrifying. It's so hard. It's so quick. What? Yeah. And you've got to make it sound real. And as soon as we got through it, and we got it in one, and imagine the vision mixer. He's like, 1, 2, 1, 2. You got to get each, you know, the guy up in the gallery, we call it, doing that. But as soon as it was done, I burst into tears. Just the relief of it. I was so relieved it was over. Yeah, they are really not easy. And she's such a horrid person in it. So it's, you know, it's just like, oh, where's my friend? You know, it's horrible. You know, it was
I wonder if, like, with the, like, obviously she's done the Nan as well, the movie.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
No, I haven't.
Her thing on, I think it was on Netflix, was it?
Yeah, I started watching that. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I like her character with the male guard or whatever he is. I think he's a guard.
Yeah.
Bloke. Yeah, I thought that was really good. Yes, Nan was, well, Nan was what she used to do at stand up, and I used to traipse around to all these different gigs, you know, in support, and it was great. And then we did those sketches for the Catherine Tate Show. We did those live to see what they'd be like, you know. Cool. And I remember at the time we didn't have Nikki Wardley, who's Lauren's mate, you know. Yeah, so good. so sometimes I had to do that girl, and of course I'm terribly posh. I mean, so I remember I used to say to Matthew Horn, who's the grandson, and also in that scene, and I'd get, just because I'm musical, I'm all right if I can hear the tone of it. You know, we'd be about to go on. I'd be like, what is it again? Give it to me in my ear, give it to me in my ear. Yeah, well, thanks. You know, like I just found it so hard. But yeah, it was good though. It was really good fun. Sorry, lost a shoe. Back with you.
Is it back?
Yep, back on.
Do you find, like, you know, like rewatching it again, like I have been lately?
Yeah.
It's to me, you watch it and it's hilarious, but you know, with the way that society has gone recently, it's like half of this shit wouldn't even allow to be aired, and it's just such a shame.
I know, it's like Little Britain. It is a shame.
Yeah,
we can't know most of that. We can't.
And it's like I watched one the other day where you're at, like, the guest at the party. Hello, Susan.
Oh, yes, Susan. Under the mistletoe. It's Christmas. We're all having a lovely time. Yeah. And you couldn't do that.
No. I mean, like half the stuff you couldn't do. And it's just such a shame.
Sorry.
You're fine. Cough away.
Nobody needs that. It's not COVID. Nobody's going to catch COVID by watching or listening.
They watch or listen? Either or.
Oh, okay.
On YouTube or audio. Have you got any, like, behind the scenes moments that you can share with us that didn't make it?
I'm just working out which ones won't.
Which ones you're allowed to.
Which ones I'm allowed to say. From which it's certainly various theatre jobs. The things that certain male actors did to you while you were waiting to go on stage would not be okay now.
Really?
Sex. Oh yeah. So actors who, there's one show I was in where I had to have a quick change into a bejeweled bra, having been in a burqa.
As you do.
Folks, it's not an advert, but I am going to have one of these. So sorry to try and stop coughing.
No problem.
So I'm getting out my burqa. I'm very lucky to have a dresser. And what we have is off stage little quick change rooms where you have blacks up and you get in there. And there's usually a little chair in the corner to dump your stuff.
Yeah.
And for the 9 months of this run, a very famous actor, who I won't name, would always sit there. He would sit there while I'm getting the top off, get the bejeweled thing on. Nobody said a word. The dresser didn't. I didn't. The actor didn't.
Oh my God.
Much older than me. Much older than me. And then in that same play, there was another actor who was a very old man. And his scene was just after his entrance rather was just after mine. So we were sort of cramped up in the wings waiting to come on. And he always felt me up. He always felt up my bum.
Oh so, my God.
You know, powerful women. So much for that. But you can't, I mean, I can't do anything about it now, but I certainly hope nobody would do that now. I think that the landscape's changed, hasn't it? So in terms of behind the scenes, there was a play I did with Judi Dench where it wasn't so much behind, just on stage. We three of us swapped characters just to make her laugh. The last matinee of any show, the final one of a run, is where everybody's naughty.
Okay.
And everybody really must never book for the last matinee. Unless
I think everyone should book for the last matinee.
The problem is it's a bit cliquey and it's all a bit in jokes that are making the cast laugh, and they're not doing that performance for you. You know, they're doing it for them. Okay. And I think it's a selfish show, but it's bloody good fun. So you do really, really awful things to each other. And that was when we did swap roles and really fun. And she pissed herself laughing. She was so naughty. She used to like tape things in the inside of her cloak. Okay. Pictures from magazines, various things. Just flash it to you upstage. And then you had to carry on and be straight. She was so naughty. She's brilliant though. She's so brilliant and such a giggler and really naughty girl. and so easy to make laugh as well.
Bless her.
Just really good fun.
Ella,
I mean,
going back to what you said, like you said it so flippantly about when you used to get changed.
Oh yeah.
Is there nothing that you can do about it now? Is the person passed away, or?
Yeah, I think he is.
Do you know now that times have changed a bit though?
Now times have changed. I think, I mean, full disclosure, absolute honesty, he was a really famous actor at the time, and I think part of me felt a bit flattered, that he wanted to look at me. But that wore off after about a couple of months, and then I was like,
this is just sick.
Just not be here now.
Yeah.
But to start with, I was a bit flattered, so I think I felt that I'd let myself down because I should have said something right at the beginning, because then how do I say when flattery wears off and it's 2 months down the road, and then I've got to take a deep breath and go, I don't really like it, it's not doesn't feel very comfortable. I mean, he'd probably go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. No, hopefully, and that would be that. But the idea, especially in those days, it was really there's such a hierarchy with how big your role is in the theatre. You shut up and get on with it and be a good company member, which is not good, is it? No, it's not good. I really hope that youngsters today wouldn't stand for it. I really don't think they would.
I don't, to be honest with you. No. I think they might flag it sooner than maybe people of our generation, because I think a lot of the time, regardless of what kind of area or career you were in, you kind of just accepted things that would no way be accepted nowadays.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember going, because I was at boarding school, I used to go, I'd have to travel on my own from various countries. Obviously, the hostesses would help you on the plane. Yeah. But from then, I've got to get the tube and then the train to school. And
what kind of age were you?
Anything from, somebody usually picked me up when I was at prep school till I was 11, 12. But then after that, after 12, God, you're doing it, and I remember being on, there were other kids who were going to my school on that train to Newbury. But I went to Down House, the first school I went to was Ashdown House, where Boris and all that lot went.
Oh, God.
The second school was Down House, where Miranda Hart and Claire Balding went.
Oh, I love Miranda. She's brilliant.
She is. And on that train, I remember it was at Reading. A man got on in a camel coat.
Del Boy?
Tried to get, he was more, it was like a proper camel fur. It looked like proper camel fur. And he put his hands on my legs and was trying to get, into my neck.
Oh my God.
I just remember thinking it was really funny, I can't wait to tell my mates about this, that's hilarious. And then thinking, okay, no, but now, it's got to stop now. I don't know what to do, and I can remember crossing my legs, and then he sort of smiled at me, and he was next to me, and then I think Newbury couldn't come fast enough, frankly, and I got off. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure all this shit happens still today, unfortunately, but I hope
do you think that because you went to boarding school, you would kind of got that independence already to be able to stick up for yourself in those situations, because you had to handle yourself on your own for quite a lot?
Maybe. I think I covered a lot up by being quite bumptious as well. I hated that word. They called me bumptious. But
what does it mean?
Sort of bubbly and ballsy at the same time.
Okay.
A bit precocious, probably. I think I could get away with saying, "Oh, get your fucking hand off me."
Yeah.
Because and I wished I'd done that. But I did do it later. I remember God, I don't know how I got onto this, but I remember being on a beach and someone's dad, I was about 14, and my friend Nikki, her dad was not Nikki Wardley, a different friend, was feeling me up in the sea and stuff. And I didn't like, and I didn't want Nick to see because I thought it would upset her. So I told my dad when we got back to our house. My dad lived in Spain at the time, and all I know is that my dad ran a bar by that point in Mallorca.
Okay.
But I never saw the family again, so I think he was
quite put a stop to it. Or buried them.
Yeah, they're buried.
Your friends are buried.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the end of that friendship.
God, that's horrific. But it's like you talk about it so casually, but that's huge. Yeah.
I think maybe the more years that pass, I suppose I'm 53 now. I've had some therapy along the way.
Yeah.
Kind of dealt with it. It doesn't hurt or bother me now.
Okay.
I have a son, but my little nieces, it just makes me rage like a mama bear if I think of anyone doing that to them, obviously.
Yeah.
All we can do is educate the little munchkins and
definitely
and say, just shout loudly and call them out, because they're so embarrassed by the fact that you've shouted at them.
Yeah, definitely. And they're not expecting it.
Yeah. Oh my God, don't touch me. Like you can imagine, they're like, whoa.
Piece of shit.
Yeah. They'd be terrified. I wish I'd done that. Imagine if I said that. It was a packed train. Imagine if I said, just so you all know, he's got his fucking hand on my leg. He'd be like, oh my God. Can you imagine? That's all it would take. What could you do? He's not going to hit me. I wish I'd done that. I might start retelling the story as if that happened and rewrite history. Better than myself.
Well, Ella, so many people in your profession are like all over social media. They have like a big presence. They share a lot of their life like online. You're like a notoriously private person. Was that a conscious decision for you because you like to keep yourself, with a degree of privacy?
It's because I'm bone idle. I can't keep up with it. I can't. Fuck me, I'm hardly private. I've told you things I've not told anybody ever. So I think it's just I've had lovely friends, younger members in casts that I've of shows I've been in. Ella, it's so simple. Look, this is how you do a little Instagram story.
Yeah.
This way, and I'm like, I just
can't be asked.
I really can't be asked. And then I don't know. I don't want everybody knowing everything.
Yeah.
And also, and there's a few pictures out there of my son before I realized, I don't think I want him growing up knowing that, he's out there without, and it wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
So I try not to have much on. I sometimes dabble. I get I turn the notifications off, obviously, but of everything. Sometimes I'll get a tag or whatever it is. I think, I better look it up, and I'm like, oh, that's lovely, and then I think, oh, that's really nice. But then it doesn't take long for me to feel like I'm not winning at life. If it's Twitter, somebody I love and respect has got yet another job and I haven't. If it's Facebook, somebody's winning at their married life and I haven't. And I just think, why not just take that? It disturbs my equilibrium, I think.
Yeah, totally.
And then also it pleases me that I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't.
But I think as well, though, a lot of the time it's all social media is just a highlight of everybody's life. There is no one's life that is that perfect.
No.
And it just stands to make us feel shit about our own, doesn't it?
It really does, though. Like I worry. My son is 14 and, they do lots of Snapchatty things and he spends a lot of time, checking himself in the mirror. And he's a good looking lad, thank God. But I kind of think, wow, there's no way at 14 I was thinking, check me out.
No.
Like I just like there's just so much of that. Well, for the boys, it's like, like, God, darling,
in the mirror.
There's really no need. Yeah, he does. He twists it round. Yeah, he's ripped. It's mad. I'm like, don't do too much of that before you're fully grown.
Yeah, you don't want to damage or anything, do you? That's the thing.
Exactly. We love your soap thing, by the way.
Sorry. Oh, do you? Thank you.
Oh my God, we love it. He loves it because it's like easier than, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, right, it's a sponge and a soap, and it smells good too. I love that.
I'll have to send you. I'll do a few like male fragrances as well. I'll send you some. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to find out what the other ones are.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll do it. I loved it. I thought it was really nice. And actually, I quite like now. We've got through it quite quickly, but now it's towards the end. It's even creamier and lovelier, actually.
Yeah. And once all the soap's gone, loads of people, I know we're going on to my products, I mean, how
no, it's all right. Yeah.
But yeah, they use it to wash their bathroom with, because it still smells really nice.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, use it to wash your sink.
To wash out the bath and the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever.
Because then it smells nice all the time, you see.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Very nice product. And her product, if anyone doesn't know, is Soap Sponge.
Oh,
Soap Sponge company, isn't it?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for that plug.
That's all right.
Pay you later.
I wasn't paid, honestly. Yeah.
Hashtag gifted.
Yeah.
So, Ella, you've worked with some absolute TV legends over the years, including yourself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, right.
If you could choose one of those, have you ever been like super starstruck in front of somebody?
Yes. Christopher Walken. I couldn't fucking breathe.
Oh.
I was so confused. And here goes my menopause memory. So I'd done the read through with Stephen Merchant and everybody. Walken wasn't there, but I'd been told that he was going to be doing it.
Okay.
And then the pandemic happened. This was called, at the time it's called The Offenders, but when it went out on telly, it's called The Outlaws. And I think the second series is out now. And all I knew was, I'd read in some characters, and I think I'd done the stage directions for everybody at the read through.
Okay.
But Mercia, Stephen Merchant's wife, or girlfriend, I think, maybe, I'm not sure if they're married, she was in episodes with me. So I was like, oh, and she's gorgeous. So we had a chat and she was like, oh my God, what are you playing in this? I said, no, I'm just reading the stage. Oh my God, I'm going to talk to Stephen. It's going to be fine. So somehow she worked her magic and I got a lovely little role. Oh, but then COVID. So it was a year later that I went down to Bristol to film, and I knew there was like, it's a tiny wee scene of me in a travel agency. I was like, oh, it'd be so nice to see Stephen again, because I'd just done 4 Lives, which was the awful thing about Stephen Port murdering 4 twinks, and it was horrid. And we had the families on set with us, and oh my God, it was just tragic story. But but we, there's a lot of hanging about, especially when it's a courtroom courtroom drama. Yeah. So I talked quite a bit to Stephen, and I was looking forward to seeing him. So, and then I'm in the makeup truck, and they said, right, so CW doesn't like to be talked to directly. I was like, right, okay. What? Oh. I couldn't think who they were talking about. I still didn't understand. They kept saying CW, and I was thinking, I know Chris Wilson, that's the headmaster at my boys' prep school. I couldn't work out what the fuck they were talking about. Still didn't know. I then walk on set, and we're all masked up to the nines. Yeah. And I thought, God, if I didn't know better, I'd say that's fucking Christopher Walken. Still didn't click that I'd been told a year ago that it was him. And they'd been saying CW. I thought, wow, they've got an extra really funny looks. And then, of course, I sit in my place. I've been told what I've got to do. And then that guy disappears. He was a lookalike. He was just there for them to size up the shot. Yeah. And then real Christopher Walken comes in with no mask on, by the way, because nobody will fucking tell him.
CW doesn't wear one.
Yeah, really. And he comes in, and he was like staring into the sun. He is so magnetic. He's got so much presence. I won't do him justice if I try and do an impression of him, but he came in and was like, well, she needs more lines because she needs to call me over to her. Why would I go over there, you know? And I was like, yeah, no, that's right, I do. And then I didn't talk to him, didn't say a thing, but I had to go on about, he produces a fuckload of money to go on holiday, and he says, you know, like, where would this get me?
Yeah.
And I go on about the Mojo potato in Lanzarote, right? I don't know why.
Say like Bogner or something.
Yeah, I mean, just no, Lanzarote, but he was kind of thinking something slightly more far afield, and I was like, well, Lanzarote, some people call it Lanzarote, but it's not fair. And I looked up, because it says I have to riff for quite a while they zoom in on just my mouth, and then he's distracted and he looks over at something in a window opposite. But I had to keep talking, and there weren't lines there, so I had Googled the night before any fucking fact I could find about Lanzarote. And their dish, their national dish is the Mojo potato, which was brilliant for that accent, because they wanted it West Country. What is a Mojo potato? So I did a lot of faffing about, and then at one point he looked directly at me, and I thought I was going to fucking pass out. He looked directly at me and went, I don't think this place sounds that great. I really wanted to go, yeah, that's the joke, but I didn't. I went, no, it's really not. You know, it's really not. And that was it. I didn't want to speak again. I was, you know,
was I allowed to?
Nice. Yeah, and he was really nice to me, and then he started talking to me in the lunch queue. And
so you were allowed to speak to him then?
For some reason, he decided I was all right. I think because I wasn't pushy with him, probably.
Yeah.
And then the poor chap who was playing the stand-in, and so for 9 months he'd been on set, you know, off and on doing this, was actually a barrister.
Oh my God.
Because he couldn't go to court because of the pandemic and stuff, he thought, oh, fuck it, I'll just, you know, do something. This might be fun. He said, turns out it's really fucking dull. I said, no, it's really well. He said, I've been here for 9 months. He hasn't said one fucking word to me. I thought, well, no, of course he hasn't, because you're a stand-in, and then if he gets caught, then he's got to do it every day, and he's 80, and he's trying, at least 80, he's trying to remember all these lines. If he's stuck having to do a pleasantry to you, you know, when he's just trying to balance it all in his head, I completely understand. But I said, I promise you, he is not trying to be rude to you. He will just be old. And I said, fuck, I don't know why you do this job. It's fucking dull. I was like, well, yes, it's a lot of waiting around, you know. But yeah, Christopher Walken blew my mind. I was pretty impressed with Judi Dench, and because I watched Play School, I was very impressed with Derek Griffiths, who's I don't know if you know who he is from Play School. You're probably too young.
I don't think
but
so.
He would fart on cue. So in a really serious play that we were doing together, and he'd just look at me dead in the eye and just go, just fucking really annoying and make me laugh. He was a bugger. Matt LeBlanc kind of blew my mind a bit, especially because he is so flirty and nice and twinkly and naughty and great cuddler. You know,
is he a nice guy?
He's lovely, absolutely lovely, and way more talented than one realizes.
Really?
He really is not just a pretty face. I like having watched him for 3 years do, you know, and when you go to the read through, you're reading all the episodes, even though I'm only ever in one a series.
Okay.
I did, you know, but for 3 years I watched all of them. Also, the deal in America is the read through is your final audition. So what a lot of actors do is say, oh, shame, no, I'm busy, I'm working, doing something else that day. And then they know they've nailed the job, whatever. So the first season that I was in, which was season 3, I think, I was reading 18 other characters, because that many people were saying across the series were like not available. And I was like, great, I'll just show them all my different.
I'll do them all.
I'll throw in some speech impediment. I'll do some accent. No, I didn't do any of that. But I was, you know, I did my bit. But I remember getting to the loos at the break, and Tamsin Gregg was there, and we'd done Black Books years ago together, and she's lovely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's so
great
good
as well.
And I said, what the fuck? Where is everyone? You'd think everybody really excited.
Yeah.
And she said, no, you've got to remember how I got this job. And I was like, what do you mean? They'd cast somebody else. And in the series 1 read through, halfway through at lunchtime, said person was headed to Heathrow and off back to the States and didn't get the job. And Tamsin came in.
Oh my God.
Because that's how quickly they'll, resolve what they wanted. And it happened every series, somebody got replaced.
Oh so God.
Quite scary. It was quite nice once you knew your character had been on the screen. You were like, oh, phew.
Yeah, it felt a bit safer.
Yeah. And that was important. But Matt was watching him work. I mean, he's really clever, really, really good actor. I was blown away by him.
And I think I saw an interview once when they were talking about Friends, and I'm sure it was David Schwimmer that said that he is like by far the most professional one. Like he takes his job the most serious.
Does he say that?
Yeah.
I totally agree. I mean, he doesn't, and he's got a great balance of being very likable but very professional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you.
Super. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's me. I didn't fuck quite as many of the makeup girls, but
yeah, I can imagine.
It is art imitating life a little bit.
Yeah. Joey all over again.
Yeah, you'd wonder why the team had left, and they were like, we had to move them on. They were like, oh. Matt, don't say anymore.
No need for any more information.
No need. But yeah, totally lovely guy. And I remember I did a Midsummer Murders with Peter Egan, the vegan.
Peter Egan, the vegan.
The vegan, and he's very famous face, when you see it. And but he's like my dad's age, but this is the way it works. We're meant to be okay about that. Why older women can't be on screen, I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, that was 2018, I think, or 19. And I remember there was quite a kerfuffle trying to find the right biscuits that were vegan, and they'd given him some shoes that weren't.
Oh, for God's sake.
So that we had to sort all that out. But and he did, he's a man who cares about his cause. He really does, actually. Being the vegan, I think he works always on the board at PETA or.
Right, so it's like proper serious about it, not just like riding the fad wave.
No, so not. I mean, like a bloody proper organic generator of the wave, yeah, he was awesome. And Greg Wise, who's Emma Thompson's husband. Actually, I met Emma Thompson she was so sweet. We were in Covent Garden, and her little daughter, who I think was called Gia or something like that, I can't remember. Obviously she's a 20-year-old now or something, but she was like a toddler and running around madly, and had taken a liking to my skirt, and I couldn't see who the mum was because I was playing with the kid.
Busy trying to whip your skirt back off this kid.
Kind of cute, and then she came in and said, I'm really sorry, and grabbed her. I was like, oh wow.
It's fine, she can do it all she wants.
I worked with your husband. Yeah, I've been really lucky, actually. I've done lots of kind of smaller roles, but in quite big jobs. So Martin Freeman I knew anyway from, I wasn't at Central, but Catherine was, and we were friends at the time, so it felt like I went to Central. Yeah. So because I was always there. And when Martin Freeman did he did The Office, and that was like, yeah, great.
Yeah.
But really it was when he did things like, Fargo and The Hobbit and stuff, I was like, wow, he's like a really big actor now, like to me he was just short little Martin who wore nice threads. Nice threads. Yeah, I used to drive him to rehearsal when we were doing Hardware, and he was fucking terrified. I'm a bit of a mad driver, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant about like what he was about to do, not about you driving.
Oh no, just my driving. Okay. Yeah, but he wanted me because of The Office. He was always getting harassed. So whenever he needed a chicken sandwich or something, he'd say, "Ella, will you come with me?" And I loved it. I loved being like, I was such a tomboy at the time as well, like a little bouncer. Like, back off, please. He's trying to get a sandwich. I loved it. Loved it.
If you could like have a show and co-star with somebody, who would you co-star with? Who would be your like dream?
Ooh. Shit, was that on the questions I knew were coming and I didn't read it? Fuck. Poor Michelle. She wrote a load of questions to me that I've completely ignored. Right. Right. Oh God, that's hard. I think I'd probably, it's like somebody I know I could really
bounce off.
Yeah, would be Derren Litten from who wrote the Benidorm Caffeine Tate Show and stuff. But then if you think like your absolute, okay, bear with me, but John Goodman from Roxanne, you know, the big fat guy.
Oh yeah,
Big Lebowski, you know. He's not fat anymore actually. I think he and I would be a great team.
Yeah, right. I can see that. Funny, yeah.
I think we'd be great together.
Right, well, let's put this out into the universe and manifest the shit out of it. And
manifesting the shit out of it. Please don't die yet.
Wait till you work with Ella first.
Yes, very important. Like Ella who? Oh my God, best thing about Green Grass was the Christmas special we did when I got to have George Wendt, who is Norm from Cheers. He was playing my father. So we had a week working with him and rehearsing with him, and he was fucking amazing. That was so cool. He was really cross with me because I'd learned all my lines, but it was only because I was getting married and I needed to have done all this work, go off and get married for the weekend and come back. So I just didn't want that, you know, hanging over
extra
me.
Yeah
I had a lot to do in that episode, but yeah, he was awesome. George Wendt.
I love Cheers. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is. That's not dated as badly as Friends did. I don't know why. I don't think it has.
Maybe I remember I don't know what I'm gonna make myself look stupid, but when I was like 2 or 3, my dad used to work in America, and me, my mum and my sister went out to visit him. This is before like they got divorced. And the guy, you know, like the main guy, what's his Ted?
Oh, Ted Danson.
Yeah, he was sat next to us on the plane.
No.
And he cut up my food for me.
Did he?
No, that's a lie. He held me while my mum cut up my food.
That's even better.
Handle both of me.
That is even better. What a darling man. And I think he is a massive, lovely hippie, I think, in real life. And he's had such a resurgence, hasn't he? Because he's just been in The Good Place and then some other thing that's on now. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, he's doing brilliantly. And he's a lovely man, isn't he? Clearly. Oh, you've been cuddled by Ted Danson. I think this means we're kind of related, Michelle, because like I've cuddled George Wendt, you've cuddled Ted Danson.
Yes.
We might as well have cuddled each other by now. You know,
we have that connection, don't we?
We do. We actually do.
So talking of like American actors and things, a lot of people in the acting world, they kind of try their luck over in America. Is that something that you've ever considered before?
I would never go unless I was invited. I worked with a brilliant actress called Adrienne Thomas in my first job out of drama school at the Lyric Studio. That wasn't an equity job, it was a fringe job. And she'd gone over because she'd done something with Charlton Heston, or she called him Chuck Heston. And she was sort of hanging around and hoping things would happen, and they weren't. And she said that Chuck Heston had said to her, never ever go to Hollywood unless you're invited. So I know friends of mine who've done the rounds, like you go over and you do all the sitcom, the pilots, and you do all the auditions, you know, good on them. And some of them get jobs out of it. I would be, I mean, particularly now, I mean, who's going to fucking invite me now? But no, I mean, I filmed for Netflix. I did this film called The Night Before Christmas. And we filmed in Canada, and it was 2019. I did it with Vanessa Hudgens and Josh Whitehouse, and it was you know, and I quite big role in it and everything, number 4 on the cast list, thank you very much. It was really exciting to be part of an American production company in Canada. And I was like, wow, so this is what working for Netflix, you know. It was quite something. But you know, the organization of getting over there when I'm a single mom, you know, I had to pay for a teacher that we knew to stay in the house with my son, and because of safeguarding issues, she couldn't cuddle him when he was crying and missing me. Even though he was only, you know, he was what, 12 or, you know, he wasn't he wasn't a baby, but you know, he still felt a bit upset. And I was gone, the longest stretch was 11 nights, and then I'd come back and then I'd go back again and come back. But you know, it wasn't easy doing that, and I think I've kind of accepted that it's hard, because you've got to hold your place in the profession until he's at uni and I can really go. Now, I mean, by then we're talking 60, unless I'm Helen Mirren or Judi Dench, you know, and there's not many that keep going that long. And I know so many, I mean, and there's been so many times when I've thought, what the fuck am I doing, you know, because it's relentless, the rejection for every job you see me in. I mean, for example, I've got to do a self-tape tonight when I finished with you, that's got to be in tomorrow morning. I did one 2 days ago, I did 2 the week prior. I mean, especially through the pandemic and everything, now nobody will see you in real life, so you've just got to take stuff, and then you can't pick up what they want. You can't,
and you can't give your energy in that room either, can you?
You know, it's just really shit. And I know it's a level playing field and everybody's doing that, but I don't care. I need to be in the room. But, so it's been really hard. I mean, I've had the odd job, and thank God my voiceovers kept going. And I did get an audition, but then that's because they saw me in real life and I got to impro. And I'm doing a film in September. Gosh, that's coming quite soon. And that's quite nice, you know. And they said to me, because I made friends with the producer, who was this gorgeous queen, and he said that they saw 224 women for my role. All of them were quite established actresses, and he couldn't believe that they were all happy to audition for it, because it's a short film. It'll go to Cannes hopefully and stuff. Short. And he was like, I couldn't believe, you know, the CVs and everything. I thought, that's how fucking desperate it is. And then he said, they whittled it down to like 100 and something that they offered. Would you like to come in and impro, or impro through Zoom? And apparently only 12 of us said we'll come in and improv.
No way.
I thought it was really interesting. So 12 of us went in. It then got down to the last 2, and you know, and I was lucky and I got it. But
that is incredible.
But then when I think, Christ, you know, it used to be, it was quite a big deal to get a casting, because you knew there was only probably, I don't know, 5 or 6
select few. You know?
Now what? There's hundreds. It's like, and my fear is that you send in the self-tape, and my fear is that it's some fucking unpaid intern sitting on the floor next to the photocopier, swipe left, you know, she goes through all the tapes that come in, and they don't know who you are.
See, I would have thought, I didn't know how the industry works. I would have thought that you wouldn't even have to audition anymore, considering how many
that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? But no.
How dare they make you audition?
I know. Well, I have had the odd straight offer, like that one for so I got a straight offer for things like Detectorist, because I know Mackenzie.
Oh my God, it's a brilliant program.
Such a good pro. He's such a genius. And then I got a straight offer for I think even Benidorm I had to audition. What was that one? The Outlaws. Yeah. So the one with Stephen. But I'd auditioned for another role in that, and didn't, you know, and didn't get it. So but no, with this one I've got to do after you, I won't say what it is, but I auditioned in March for a bigger role. That's gone somewhere else. But I then got a letter today from my agent saying they really love you, They absolutely love you, but they're thinking about you for this other role that's a really nice cameo that stretches across 2 episodes.
Right.
Okay. I look at it, and it is literally me going, yeah, there's a line here. How do you know my name? That's it.
Oh, shit.
And they want me to take for that. Fuck. I mean, as my friend said.
Oh my God, I will send you this and you can just like screen grab
it. I'm just going to do that.
There's yourself taped.
Yeah, there you go. It's taped, you fuckers. My friend said, Derren, I said, apparently, it stretches across 2 episodes or whatever. He went, well, that's a hell of a fucking cue. There's a line here. How do you know when like, that's a cue. It lasts 2 episodes. What the fuck? Anyway.
So how do you weigh that up though, in terms of, do you go for it still? Or?
I still do, which I'm often told off about by my friends. Like, don't, because you get what you settle for. People will start thinking of you as like somebody who does nothing. But I'm a big role in that. I had a good role in 4 Lives. I do things that are bigger roles as well. And I just think it's nice to have a day out. So that's how I view it. It'll just be a nice day out. Yeah, and I will, if I get it. The awful thing is when you don't.
Yeah. How do you deal with that on a personal level?
Oh, it's just relentless. I think what's not helping, Michelle, is that I'm doing this concurrently with online dating. So,
God.
I feel like I'm being swiped left comprehensively in all areas of my life.
Both professionally and personally.
I just should have it on here, swipe left. I mean, I don't make it sound like that, because I do get some work and I do get some dates, but I'm not really interested in, jumping in the sack with someone. And I'm not really interested in 7 months filming in Croatia. So, it's kind of similar, isn't it? I don't want to go too deep. So still got the boy at school. It's just me and him. When I went over and saw my lovely friend in Benidorm, that was my first holiday in over 10 years on my own, like crazy. And I paid, a babysitter to be here through the night and the day, and it cost more than the flights. So it's a tough one, isn't it?
And we couldn't have parties or anything. Damn it.
I really ruined that for him. But my brother reminds me, I've got some lovely brothers, and he reminds me, look, he really won't be this age forever.
No, definitely
it's just
not.
It's felt like quite a long haul since he was 0.
It really does.
With the adulterous pigworm, as we call him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, had a child and a baby. Told us when the baby was 2, so we got rid of him then. Oh my God. It's been quite a while, and that was in 2018. So,
Jesus.
we're a little bit like that now.
And then a frigging pandemic. Jesus, I bet you were like,
a pandemic, and then I had to give up booze. It's like, what?
Oh, no.
Something to do with kidneys.
Well, bad things come in 3, so you've had them.
Yeah,
now.
So that's that now, right? Yeah, great.
Break a match. That's what they say.
Yeah, is that what they say?
Yeah, break it into 3 pieces and then it stops your run of bad luck.
Oh, really?
It's like an old wives' tale.
Who's ever got matches anymore?
Oh my God, I went out and bought some the other day. Because
did you, just to break them out? What were your 3 things, Michelle?
Well, I had a cancer scare.
Is that all right now?
Yes, yeah, all good.
Oh, thank God.
I've been having fits, so I've got to go to neurology. And loads of like business stuff is going on. So I was like that.
You broke the fit. Bloody hell, you've been through it. And you've been so cheerful all along.
Oh, thanks.
Well done. How old are your children?
18 and 9.
What happened there?
What, the gap?
Yes.
Well, we didn't think we could have any more, because this is another issue, because I've had like 12 operations over the course of about 10 years.
And you managed to get pregnant again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And then they got like test results wrong and all this, and then I ended up having a hysterectomy, but luckily we'd had our second anyway. But yeah.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
But you're so young.
No, I'm really not.
Yeah, you really are. When did you have the 18-year-old?
When I was 18.
That's quite young. I had mine at 38.
Did you?
Yeah, I was quite happy thinking, oh, phew, I think I've got away with it. I don't have to have children. And then I met his dad, who was very lovely at the beginning. And
is that the pigworm?
Yeah, the pigworm, the adulterous pigworm. And we fell madly in love and decided that, like, I'd been told I was perimenopausal, so if you were going to have babies, have them now. And I was like, yeah, I've known him 3 weeks, so that's probably not going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
And he said, yeah, or we just try, because it takes forever, and it's taken my brother forever, and it probably takes us forever. Yeah, sure, first one out the blocks. So we got pregnant within 8 weeks.
Oh my God.
But we wanted to, we tried. Yeah. We didn't quite think it was going to happen. And then we said, so we still weren't living together or anything, obviously, because we just met. So got pregnant, then we got married, or he moved into my house, I think. No, we were still not really living together, got married, and then we got a house.
You hadn't lived with him first?
No, not much.
Oh no.
A little bit. He can't tie a bin bag. I should have known, Michelle.
Fuck's sake.
Who can't tie a fucking bin bag? You muppet. Anyway, so I really hope my son doesn't watch this. Shit. Mum, I just found this on YouTube. Your daddy's very lovely. Twat. Anyway.
Can't tie a bin bag.
Yeah, can't.
Oh, Anna's an adulterer.
Yeah, there is that. And we'll never meet the child because we're not allowed, apparently. Oh but anyway, which I really wish would happen, because I think it would be really nice for Will. He's an only child, and I can swallow my hurt and betrayal and think, well, it's about the boys, and that's lovely if they meet each other. But
well, that's very noble of you. I'm not sure I would feel the same.
It's taken a while. But I think well, you would eventually.
Yeah. I mean, if it was for the sake of the kids, I think you can put anything to one side, can't you?
But I think the fact that quite so much money went her way is really hard to deal with. But there we go. Anyway, we've got a gorgeous little house now. Yeah. And so I got the baby, and then we tried again, and I sadly, I had a couple of miscarriages, and then I thought, I am like 40, and there were options, and I thought, and all respect to anybody who's done that at a later stage, good on them. I was just terrified that I was putting my health and potential baby's health at risk, and I didn't want to, and I thought, what kind of parent am I then to Will? And but so we that was sad though. I remember being very sad when one of them went, and I thought, and I can remember when we conceived the one that we lost. I lost him at Gatwick Village. He went down a loo at Gatwick Village. It's terrible, isn't it? Or she, no idea. But I was doing a show in Edinburgh, School for Scandal, with a bunch of comics. So Marcus Brigstock, Paul Foot, Phil Nicol, Bridget Christie, Amy Misbehave, who could swallow swords, all sorts of mad people. It was brilliant fun. And it was just, I was so happy. I was up there with a nanny and the baby, who was 18 months at the time, Will. And Andy just came up and visited one weekend. And it was just really fun. I was really relaxed and happy. I was doing what I wanted to do. And I'm not surprised we made a baby. And then, Gatwick Village, the curse of Gatwick Village.
Oh God, never set foot there again.
No. Oh shit, except I am on the 14th of July, but there we go.
Are you allowed to tell me what you're working on at the moment and what's coming next for you?
Well, all that's coming next is that mad short film about so I'm doing the Cotswold adverts, voicing those, and
are you?
Yeah, and so you can hear me at the moment doing it, and I've got a new one to do next week. And I do the World Wildlife Fund as well, so they're nice ones that keep rumbling on. Yay. And then this film, which it's something to do with biscuits. I can't remember what they've called it. It's a great idea. But anyway, so it's the biscuit film, which we're going to film on a train again back to Norfolk.
Okay.
That's coming up. And then I am writing something with Susan Earle, who was in Hardware with me with Martin Freeman, and she was in So Awkward, the kids film, the kids show on CBeebies. And she's a funny girl. So we're writing something together, and we'll have to see what happens to that.
Wow, it sounds exciting.
Well, it's not really, is it? It's all right. We potter on, Michelle. We potter on.
What do you do, Ella, in other parts of your life when you're not acting? What are the things that make you happy?
Well, that's good. The garden. I really got into it in the pandemic. I love the garden. Really got into that. And I do a lot of eating, which I like, and a bit of writing. And by the time you've done, self-tapes don't just, it takes so much time to do them. So I find there's always some kind of work every day. And 2 days ago, I did a big podcast with my time capsule with Mike Fenton Stevens, which is a good one. And it's usually that sort of thing, really. There's always also the endless things for free. So I go and do read-throughs, or so when Susan's writing some other things, and then I'll read through on Zoom whatever she's written to get it up and running, and then she can rewrite it and with her.
Oh wow. Do you ever do any short films, like small films?
I did one years ago called Infidelity with Chris Fairbank from Auf Wiedersehen Pet. I mean, the one we've got coming up is a short film. But I'm sort of over not being paid. I kind of think, oh God, I'm not doing that. But and a lot of short films are all done on a wing and a prayer. But I did one the other day actually with Charlie Clive, who's fabulous. She was in that thing Pure I did on Channel 4. And I think she asked me as a favor, so I did that. I think if someone asked me as a favor, I'll do it. But if it's just someone trying their luck, I'm like, fuck off. I mean, am I going to ask you to do my accounts for free? No. Just no. But I just asked at the pub if I could go and get a few hours shift in there. I kind of want William to know that, you need to work. And it feels weird not having more money coming in.
Yeah, I bet.
We need that to happen.
Would you like him to follow in your footsteps?
No, God,
no.
Oh my God, it's so relentlessly depressing. No, and he's not the type either. I mean, he's so funny. He's really funny, but
gets it from his mom.
No, I don't know where he gets it from, but he is funny, but he doesn't want people looking at him.
Okay.
He really doesn't like that.
It's like naturally funny.
Yeah, I mean, he really makes me laugh. I think he might find later, when he's feeling a bit more confident, he might end up something like that. But for now, he's refusing even to do drama GCSE or
Okay. How does that make you feel? Are you pleased?
Thrilled.
Yeah,
because it's so. It's like, it's hard. The rejection is hard, man. And I don't want him to feel like that. He's already been rejected by his dad. I don't want him to have that as well. So I think I think do a job that you're going to get paid at the end of the week.
And you don't have to, I hate this word, but like hustle for the job.
And all that and that's where I let myself down, because I won't do all the Insta and that's what they all say. You've really got to get on the socials, say what's going on, what you're doing. And I'm
because people are nosy bastards at the end of the day. That's the truth.
Are they? They do want to know.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
I say to my agent, can you, if I'm in this thing, can you plug it? You know, and then they put up a little thing, but nobody's.
So do you find the jobs yourself, or is it all just through the agent?
Oh God, no, they do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why they get their big slice of my pie. The bastards. No, I mean, certainly, and then it's two different agents. I've got an agent for voice work.
Yeah.
And that gets tricky when things clash. Okay. You inevitably take the acting work, which is crazy because it's paid so much less than the voice work.
Is it really?
Yeah, but it's like it's higher art.
Yeah.
You can say. So people always want to do that. And the voice agents get pretty fed up with it. You know? And it can be like you're on a really good run, and then you say, I'm just going up to Chester to Chester Gateway Theatre for 8 weeks. And they're like, right, shit, you know, but then you find a studio up there, and, you know, I've now built one in my garage. So I do a lot from home now, which is great. And that's good for the podcast and stuff. I've got shoved here in the living room because his nibs is on the PlayStation.
Priorities. After he's had his supper yeeted at him.
Yeah, he's had the supper, now he's on the PlayStation. Mind you, he has had one hell of a week. I mean, just the most awful burn on the AstroTurf, like really, really nasty. I was with tweezers picking out. I mean, it's about that size, and it is, it's awful. It's like weeping, and it's just awful. And so we bandaged it with gauze, and we did everything you were meant to do. Sure, then you try getting that off. Oh my God.
Sticky to it and everything.
Oh my God. And I said, would you just get in a bath for 20 minutes? A cool, tepid bath.
Soak it. Yeah.
Wouldn't fucking do it. Pulls it off himself. So we're back to square one.
Sore again.
Flesh. Literally,
oh my God,
like he'd been scalped along the side of his leg. I mean, it's so awful. I can't even look at it.
Ella, tomorrow I'm sending you by special delivery a pack of matches.
Yes, because enough already.
Yes, definitely. Oh, bless you.
I think we need like the really nice long ones so we can actually break it in 3.
Yeah, it's those like. I don't even know what. Yeah, the Cooks ones.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Fuck it, I'm buying them. Don't worry, I'm going to buy them and then break them. I hope your luck's all right now.
Say that again.
Your luck is all right now.
It'll be fine. Has to be, doesn't it?
Cancer's not a thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing. I think it's when you think about the kids, isn't it?
Oh God, don't. Yeah, of course it is. So you've had all that pressure running around your head in limbo.
Yeah. And like that they'd got my notes mixed up with other people. Like
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. It was like they phoned me and they were like, Michelle, you've had this procedure already. Why are you coming for it again? I'm like, I haven't. And then, when you go around in your head and you're thinking, have I? And then she was dead snotty with me on the phone. And I was like, no, I haven't, I assure you. And then she comes back on the phone and she said, wait a minute. And then she came back and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I got you mixed up with a lady called Margaret. I was like, what?
Fuck you, lady.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, what a snotty bitch as well.
Yeah. And then I was on the phone to the doctors to get some like blood results or something. And she was like, oh, I can see that you've been booked in to have to see this consultant next week. And I'm like, what? I've not even given you my name and date of birth yet. How the hell are you in my records? And she's like, oh no, that's the previous patient. I'm like,
oh my God, stop it.
Yeah.
This isn't
the matches.
Yeah, where the matches. And that was a different person as well.
Yeah, that was at the doctor's surgery and this was at the hospital. Crazy times.
Just mad.
Yeah.
And horrible. Oh
yeah.
God.
Definitely.
So, but at the moment, you just have to find out neurologically why you're fitting.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it'll be all good.
And you try not to look at the internet to see what it could be.
To be honest, I've been really good this time with the whole cancer thing. Yeah. In my own head, I had cancer and that was it. I was going to die and it was being caught too late and it was horrible.
Wow. But with this, done all that in your own head.
Yeah. Definitely.
I would have.
Yeah. I think Google's an arsehole for some things, but then it's really good for others. But yeah, for the neurology thing, I'm pretty convinced, because I've started having these like episodes where I'll just be sat there and I'm watching telly, and then my husband like speaks to me, but I can't answer him and I can't move my body. And it's really bizarre, but it's only for a few seconds. And that's been happening like 2 or 3 times over the last few weeks. But I think it's stress related, because like so much has happened.
Yeah, that has been. And then if you've got things with business as well, and the whole cancer thing, you know, that's just huge to think that your whole life is unraveled. Oh God, I hope it is stress. And
like I was looking into the insurance and everything, like my life insurance, if I had like enough critical illness cover to get I went like so far down the road, and I'd almost made peace with it in a way. It was really, really odd.
So from scare to finding out, how many weeks?
Oh, scare started about 2 months before. Wow. And then I was put on the 2-week pathway, and then when it got to the hospital, it was downgraded without me knowing, to routine. So then I was booked in for an operation, and then I got COVID, and then I had to rebook that for, I think it was like 3 weeks later, and then went for that. They were just about to do the operation, and then I had a fit and they couldn't wake me up for like 5 minutes. So they said, you're gonna have to go to the main hospital to have it done, because we don't have like the emergency things. So I was like, fine. So then that appointment took another week. So then I had
the fit that kept happening.
So then I had to go back for that one, and then like I think we got like 5 minutes into the operation, and then it happened again. But this time, like the nurse was like slapping my face, but I couldn't answer her. And like I could hear the machines, they were going like really fast, like beeping. And then I had like the anesthetic guy behind me, and he was screaming my name, but I couldn't move like any of my eyes.
God. Was it terrifying?
Really terrifying, because the surgeon, he was like, abandon procedure. I can't do it like this. And I'm thinking, shit, if I don't say something in a minute, they're going to like start like chest compression.
Yeah.
It was just horrific.
And then what happened?
Then they didn't know that I wasn't unconscious. They thought that I was unconscious at the time. And they were like, it's all fine, blah, 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 making out that it was fine. And then when I got wheeled out, I was speaking to the nurse, and she was like, oh, they said your observations were fine during it. I said, I heard every single thing that they said. I saw everything that they did. I felt everything that they did to my face. And she was like, you need to write this down in case something comes of it. So I was like, for God's sake. So I did, like I kept a note of that day.
Yeah, good.
And then they sent me for a CT scan the following week. And then I had the CT scan done, and they said it was like with the 2-week weight bureau. And then I got, you can't write this. And then I got told 2 days later that the results were in, and that the consultant would phone me like by the end of the day. And then my phone stopped working. It was my mobile.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I had to phone back on my daughter's phone and say, I'm really sorry, but I've got no signal. I don't know what's happening with my phone. It won't ring. And they were like, oh, I'm really sorry. You've been misinformed. It hasn't even been reported yet. And I was like, please piss off. This is unbelievable.
Oh my God.
And so I waited another week and a half, and then I got told the same thing again. Yep, they're back. We'll call you later. But then 2 weeks went. So I made a complaint with PALS, because I said, look, this has been so lengthy and I need to know. And then I got a phone call on the Friday, and she was like, you'll be pleased to know that there's no large masses. We can't tell whether there's any smaller ones, but we don't think it's cancer. So we're happy to like refer you back to the consultant. So I was like, for God's sake.
Bloody hell.
It's crazy.
Bloody hell.
I know.
And where were these masses being investigated?
In my bowel.
Oh, fuck. Oh, it's just
crazy.
Horrible. Which hospital is this?
It was at the JR.
Shit.
Yeah. Mental times. And I've just realised we've just had this conversation on the podcast.
I know, they've all heard.
Oh well, it might help somebody, eh?
Yeah, brilliant. But how was your husband coping through all that?
He was really like stoic, to be honest. Yeah, he was like, I'm sure it's going to be fine, but like inside he was stressed about it. I think he was more stressed because more shit kept happening. And it was like, I wasn't, every night I went to bed and I was just like, I wonder if I'll find out tomorrow. It was really hard.
Oh, that's just awful. That's just awful. We had a scare of 6 weeks where Will had a lump, and we thought it was rhabdomyosarcoma. They thought it was rhabdomyosarcoma, which is a horrible cancer that kids get on their necks. And it was too near and they couldn't get rid of it, blah blah blah. Anyway, it turned out 6 weeks later we got the phone call on a Thursday evening at 9 p.m. saying it's a venous malformation, and it's not. But that 6 weeks, you know, and you've done it a lot longer.
6 weeks for a child, that's horrific.
And they were so weird. Every time we're there, this is lovely Great Ormond Street, and we still go because he still has to have that sorted, but every time we're there they apologize. It's so funny. It's like, well, this happened when he was 4 or 5, you know, and they're still apologizing. It's like, fine, you know, like we're all through it now. But you know, they were all like, that's so terrible, that should never have happened. That, you know. And
then to get a phone call at 9 o'clock at night, I bet it was extra especially stressful.
Yeah, I was just so glad she knew. She said, I know, I just didn't want you to have one more night.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I really was. She was called Dr. Barnacle.
Barnacle, like swashbuckling.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. What a fucking man.
I know. But hopefully onwards and upwards. That's what I'm
thinking.
Did
your 18-year-old know what was going on?
Yes. And to be honest, it's made her unwell with stress.
Oh, shit.
She was at the doctor's because she hasn't been feeling very well for the past like couple of weeks. So she went to the doctors and they said, look, let's do some bloods just in case it's something going on. Luckily, my husband went with her because she passed out and nearly hit her head on the stone floor, but he managed to catch her just in time. So it's
oh my God.
It's affecting all of us. I think stress can affect people in such a way, can't it?
It's a powerful thing, man. It's a hormone, right? I think.
Yeah.
Stress hormones.
Definitely.
Let's get these fucking matches out, man.
Buy a box.
Yeah. Oh shit. You know it's 8:10.
Oh shit. Okie doke. Ella, it has been a pleasure.
I've got to sort everybody out.
Right, we shall wrap up here. It has been a pleasure to talk to you. I could literally talk to you all day.
Oh, lovely.
And thank you so much for coming on.
You're so welcome. And yay, yes, she can.
Yeah.
I'm